This week on the RV podcast,
traveling to scenic RV destinations, caravan style. Just how does that work?
the Escapees RV Club has been bought out by Harvest Host. What will that mean to the membership of both organizations?
How we came, Jennifer and I, to adopt the 330 rule of RV travel. How that all works and what it means to RVers. All that and much more coming up on episode 507 of the RV podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Mike Wendland and this is my lifelong traveling companion and my bride, Jennifer. How's this for a location?
Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Quick reminder, you can watch the video version of this podcast on our RV Lifestyle YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/RV Lifestyle. And of course, if you listen to us on audio, we're on all your favorite podcast apps, and we ask that you give us a review on the podcast apps. Those reviews help us get noticed. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the like button. That helps us as well. Those likes, Google will then show this to more folks. Well, we are on the road today, and you want to tell everybody where we are?
We are on the road to Bar Harbor, Maine.
Well, it's just right there. And we are really using this as kind of the staging liftoff for our coming tour of the Canadian Maritimes, sponsored by Fantasy RV Tours. Actually, they're not sponsoring it, they're running it. We are just attending with along about 40 or 50 of our friends and followers, and we cannot wait to tour the Maritimes. As we record this, we're about ready to take off, and we will be in New Brunswick, and we will be in Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and we'll try and update you guys as much as we can. This has been an awesome trip so far. 1,200 miles from Michigan to here.
Right, and we took our time getting here, and we've had good weather the whole time that we've been traveling.
We followed our own advice coming out here this time.
Yeah, the 330 rule. We just decided that we were going to take a little bit longer and not wear ourselves out before we get started.
Now, if you don't know what the 330 rule is, stick around to the end of the podcast. We will have an update from our Mike and Jen's story time, and we'll tell you all about it, how we came to adopt it, and how it all works.
And we're going to be sharing our maritime adventures as often as we can with videos and feedbacks and photos and social media updates. And the best way to follow us is through RV Lifestyle Community.
And you can find that at community.rvlifestyle.com. And we'll also do updates regularly on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else we can do it. Hey, before we start, I want to ask you a question. If you're a moochdocker or a boondocker, and in these hot weather days of summer, you're having trouble keeping your RV cool, we have a way to help you out a little bit. If you have a small generator, or if you're moochstocking on somebody's 20 amp service in their driveway, you need Soft Start Up. Soft Start Up is a device that plugs into the pedestal or the electric outlet, and it will allow you to run your air conditioner on less than 30 amp connections. Works right out of the box. You really need to check all the details. You know, when your air conditioner starts off, it goes boom, big spike in power needs, and then it levels off. Well, Soft Start Up levels that spike so that you don't need quite as much power to start your air conditioning and then keep it running. It's a great way to keep keep it running, keep your place cool. You don't have to climb up on your roof to put it in. You don't have to open your AC units as some of those Soft Start units do. This one is really easy. You don't have to know any wiring connections. You literally just plug it into the pedestal or the outlet, and then plug that your regular power cord into your RV. Go to softstartup.com/RV Lifestyle. Softstartup.com/RV Lifestyle. You can save a whole bunch of money if you follow that link. Keep cool with Soft Start Up. Well, we are going to show you a little bit where we are. Right over our shoulders is Acadia National Park, and I think that's Mount Cadillac, that big one, if you can see it in the back.
What happened to that idea of getting up and watching sunrise?
Well, you'd have to get up about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Make your way there. We were going to do that. We're actually going to do that today, the day we recorded, and kind of do a little segment from up there. But you need a permit from the National Park Service. There's a bunch of red tape you have to go to get through, and we just couldn't get one on a day's notice. So we slept in. But it's up there, and it's pretty. If you get a chance, and if you're coming to this part of the country, do it. As, of course, is Acadia National Park. We really enjoyed that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have the social media buzz with Wendy Boyer coming right up. After countless nights on the road, we have finally found the ultimate comfort solution for our home away from home, our RV mattress from rvmattress.com/RV Lifestyle. Now, let me tell you, this is a game changer. Everybody knows that the stock mattresses that come in an RV are not great. And whether you are a weekend warrior or a full-timer, you deserve better sleep. RVmattress.com has 22 plus size options, 5 height options, and 3 firmness options, so you are bound to find something that fits. Jennifer and I got the signature hybrid mattress in Queen with the cooling cover, and we love it. It truly has us sleeping just as good in the RV as our house. In fact, so good, we actually got another RV mattress for our sticks and bricks house. Now, swapping out the uncomfortable old stock mattress for our new RV mattress was easy. It shipped from Arizona for free in a box. We brought it into the RV and never looked back. This RV mattress is plush comfort, the best sleep we've ever had in an RV. Every night feels like a luxury retreat, and we highly recommend upgrading your mattress at rvmattress.com. Trust us, you will not regret it. And if you use the promo code RV Lifestyle, you'll get a really nice discount. Again, go to rvmattress.com/RV Lifestyle. Welcome back, and now it's time for Wendy Boyer's report on the hot issues most talked about this past week on social media and our RV Lifestyle community group. So go, Wendy. Here's the social media buzz.
Hi, everybody. Over in our RV Lifestyle Community's plumbing space, we had a recent post from Mary. Now, Mary was having trouble attaching her stinky slinky to her sewer. So she wrote that the black tank pull and the gray tank pull were too close together, and she just couldn't get to them. So she asked if anyone had a tool that would help her unhook her hose. She added that she had tried a rubber hammer, a screwdriver, just wasn't working. So she was looking for some ideas, and ideas she got. Some recommended she try oil filter pliers. Someone else recommended a strap wrench. And then both Chris and Robert suggested she add an extender to make that, pipe go out a little bit more. And all of which Mary said she appreciated, and we're looking forward to hearing what she tries and how it works. Also in our community, under Mods and DIY Tweak Space, we had a post not that long ago from Dexter that was really a helpful tip. He was looking for a solution to see his stairs at night. He said he didn't want to deal with solar or changing out the batteries. And so what he did was he hooked up a light in his stairs to his porch light. So when he turns on his porch light, his stairs light up like a little bit there at nighttime so he can see his steps. Looked like a great idea. He even had a plug so he could unplug them when he's traveling, so there weren't any extra cords on the outside of his rig. He shared some pictures. People loved it. And thanks for sharing that tip, Dexter. We'll have to put a picture in the show notes so you guys can see it too. And then over in our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, we of course have all types of conversations going on all the time. And one that really got people talking recently was from Bridget. Now, Bridget was buying an RV. She lived in the state of Washington. And when she looked at her final bill from the dealer, there was a $5,000 prep fee. $5,000. And she looked at this thing. She had never heard of it before. So she put a post up on the Facebook group and she said, "Is this the new norm? This sounds crazy, ridiculous. Tell me it ain't so." Well, lots of people said this is crazy and ridiculous. A couple people said that they had heard of prep fees that were maybe $300 to $500, but never $5,000. John, he's heard about this and he told her, leave now. You negotiated a price and now this dealer's adding $5K after the fact. Just walk away from the deal. Many people said that they had just never heard of this thing of a prep fee. What was it even supposed to include? So Bridget answered it was her understanding it included washing the rig, detailing it, inspecting, looking it over for $5,000. So lots of people, pretty much just about everybody in the hundreds and hundreds of replies, told her to leave this deal and find a new dealer. And it sounds like she did. So good for you, Bridget. And that was quite the story to read. And that's it for me this week. I'm Wendy Boyer, and I'll see you over at our RV Lifestyle community or Facebook group.
Boy, you know that preparation fee, $5,000. You know, we don't have the details and all of that, but we've heard of variations around that. I think the advice that that poster got is absolutely right. Just walk away from anybody who's going to charge that to you. That's absolutely ridiculous. There are still a lot of RV dealers out there who are just anything for a profit. They will nickel and dime you to death. Watch out for those, because there's now more and more very reputable RV dealers who really want to service people. You don't have to take the offer from somebody like that. Whatever RV you're looking at, you can find a better one, probably at a better price, I guarantee it, than those people trying to charge you $5,000 for a preparation fee. That's why we invite you to be a part of our RV Lifestyle community. Go to community.rvlifestyle.com and you'll get great advice from real RVers, not somebody trying to sell you something. All right, our conversation of the week comes back. We're going to talk about what's involved in a caravan-style RV tour like we're about to embark on. Stay with us.
Jennifer and I took a trip to Las Vegas and Arizona to look at Windmill Acres, a brand new RV property being offered by Western Land and Ranches. They're selling off 1 and 2 acre parcels starting at only $14,900. Now these are big. An acre is the size of a football field. The properties are on a plateau with big valley views, and the location is amazing, next to Lake Mead National Recreation Area. We had a blast. There are so many places to explore near the property. The Grand Canyon. We took a boat ride on the Colorado River below Hoover Dam. Boulder City was a fun little town. That's right off Route 66. And of course, we had to enjoy some nightlife in Las Vegas. It's a lifetime supply of fun things to do when you own a camp at Windmill Acres. The properties are now available. This is 100% ownership, so there's no reservations needed when you want to hang out, time limits or crowded parks that you have to go through. You can share your property, you can rent it, it's whatever you want to do. For more information, visit ArizonaRanchSales.com or call 822-232-LAND.
Welcome back. Time now for our RV conversation of the week.
Yeah, more and more RVers are caravanning or traveling in groups as part of a guided tour.
Now, if you've ever wondered what it's like, our RV conversation of the week is going to give you a great overview. We're going to talk to the operations director of Fantasy RV Tours, or the people organizing the tour that we are on. We should tell you, when you hear caravan, you kind of picture, like, you know, everybody 1, 2, 3, 4 in a line. Well, you don't travel like that. We basically can leave anytime we want from 8:30 till you got to get out of whatever campground you're in by 11 usually. So people just leave when they're comfortable and arrive at the destination when they're comfortable as well. Stacy Raybung is the operations director, and this is kind of a replay of a conversation we had with her earlier this year, but it's very appropriate now as so many people are starting to think about next year's travel, because you want to book these big tours like this in advance. They sell out. Our tour, this one right here, we're just regular members attending it, but our tour, we opened it up to our membership and we sold it out in 1 day. So you want to get your reservations earlier. But if you really wonder what it's like, the closest I can come is like kind of an all-inclusive resort stay, except you're in your RV, because they take care of almost all the details, many of your meals, all your reservations. Here's Stacy to talk it out with you.
Well, Stacy joins us right now, and Stacy, it is great to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be with you.
So let's start off by talking about what an RV touring company does.
Okay, well, for us, we are pretty much the world's largest RV provider of guided RV tours or guided RV vacations. So, in a nutshell, we do all the work and you show up and let us take care of you on your RV vacation. So we book all the reservations, take care of everything for you. Everything is included for you. Maybe an exception of a few meals that might be on your own, but gratuities, trip planning, all of that is taken care of for you, and that's what RV tour caravan companies do.
Now, we've seen tours that you can take, to exotic locations where you get on a bus and they take you everywhere. You're kind of the same thing, except we're driving in our RVs and camping in our RVs, right?
Exactly. Kind of like what you're talking about, maybe a fly in and fly out kind of location. We do the same things, except you are driving your own RV to that location, and then we bring a bus in and take you out to all of the different places and the things to see, the restaurants and bucket list locations.
Is there any particular type of RV that you are limited to? Do you have everything from towables to motorhomes, or are they all motorhomes?
As long as it's self-contained, we will accept it. We have a lot of towables that go along. We even have a few truck campers that have joined us on some of our tours. So anything from a truck camper all the way up to a 45-foot diesel pusher.
Well, how many RVers are on a typical tour? I've seen you before. I think I saw one of yours in, oh gosh, I want to say it was at a campground in Natchez, Mississippi, across from there a few years ago. And I was really impressed. They all came in and they all had a good time. And we ran into them in town. Mm-hmm. But how many do you normally have?
Typically on a moving caravan, we have 22 guest rigs and 2 ambassador rigs. So we'll have a wagon master and a tail gunner. And of course, the wagon master is the leader. The tail gunner runs behind everybody else in case somebody has an issue while they're on the road. And so it's typically 24 total rigs, counting those 2 ambassadors.
Now, how are some of your trips organized? Where's your most popular locations? Give us an idea of what you would do on a tour, on an RV tour like this.
Well, it's important to designate that a caravan moves. A caravan is different from a rally because a rally stays in one location, but a caravan will move. And our most popular location is Alaska, without a doubt. We are running 13 different caravans to Alaska this summer. In fact, we just got 3 on the road this past week. So we have 3 tours out, 10 more to go this summer. And you will arrive at your location. Usually we stay at the rally point, which is your arriving location. You're responsible for getting to that spot. Once you get there, Wagon Master will take care of the rest and give you all your information. You'll have an itinerary before you go that'll be emailed to you. And you'll get a book with driving directions. And usually we'll stay a couple of days, have a welcome dinner, get to know each other. Then we take off and we head off to, say we're going to Alaska. We head off across the border. Our wagon master goes first, the tail gunner goes last, and we wait till everybody gets across the border and then take off to our first campground.
So how many miles do you typically go in a day?
We try extremely hard never to drive more than 300 miles in a day. In Alaska, sometimes 300 miles is a little longer than it would be in the United States. So we typically keep everything under 300 miles unless it's just impossible in some of the remote areas of Alaska. I think there's one driving day on our 60-day Alaska tour that's like 350 miles.
Wow, that's what I was going to ask is how long is the Alaska tour? But you have other tours. Tell us about some of your other locations that you go to.
Another popular location is obviously the Canadian Maritimes. We do all about 10 tours through the Maritimes. Some just do the lower provinces and some go all the way up to Newfoundland. So kind of depends on how much time you have and what you want to see. Another great one, like you mentioned, you saw our group at Natchez. That is our Mississippi River Run tour. Starts up in at the top of the Mississippi River and drives all the way down to the bottom of the Mississippi River in New Orleans. And it follows the river. There's a road called the Great River Road. And
Yes, yes.
so it follows that road all the way down. That's another, and that's a 34-day caravan.
And how long are your typical caravans? What do they range from in terms of length?
We have our shortest caravan is our 13-day Made in America music tour, which does 3 locations, and our longest caravan is a 62-day Alaska tour.
Now, do they start typically in one location and then do they return to that location? Can people join it at different points? How does that all work?
That's a good question. Sometimes we start in one location and we end we almost always end in another location. Maybe if we're talking about Alaska, we have some different itineraries, some that start in the United States and end in the United States. Some of them start in the United States and end in Prince George, British Columbia, and you get yourself back to wherever you want to go. So we don't ever end up at the same exact campground that we started at. Obviously, on something like the Mississippi River Run, you're going to start up in Minnesota and you're going to end in New Orleans. So we're not going to go back to Minnesota.
Now, this is the image I used to have of it, and I don't think it's accurate, but does everybody have to travel, like nose to trail along the whole route? Can you stop at your will? You just have to get to the campground at a certain time? How does that work?
Absolutely not. We don't want everybody to travel nose to tail because then the person in the front is the only one that sees anything. So we have it structured that this is your vacation. We're going to tell you that our wagon master is going to leave at 7 a.m. to get to the next campground to get everything ready. You are welcome to leave anytime between 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and when the campground checkout is, which is usually noon, 11 o'clock or noon. So people can get up and move at their own leisure, and the tail gunner is going to stay in that campground until the last rig has left. And and if there's something, we'll give you suggested things to stop and see along the way. Especially, I hate to keep going back to Alaska, but in Alaska, there's lots of places where you want to pull off to the side and take a picture. You want to stop and get the world's largest cinnamon roll. We're going to tell you all those places to stop and do those things. And, maybe we even have people who want to go see a brother-in-law or a family member that lives in an area nearby. They can go do that. It's their vacation. They just need to let the wagon master know, hey, I'm not going to be in till late tonight. The tail gunner doesn't need to watch for me. I'm going to be doing this instead. Or maybe they want to go hiking or biking on a trail and they want to take a break between and go do that. That's perfectly fine and encouraged.
Now, you mentioned many of the meals are provided. Talk about that for us.
Right. On our itinerary, you'll see how many meals are provided on a caravan or rally, either one. And so we book those for you. It's almost always going to be one meal, I don't want to say per day, but at least 1 or 2 meals per stop wherever we are. Sometimes it's a campground meal because there's no in a remote location, there's no restaurant that we might be able to go to. So the wagon masters will provide a campground meal. It's not a potluck. We don't have the guests do that. The wagon masters and the tail gunners will prepare a really nice meal, not just hamburgers and hot dogs every time either. So the meals are mostly provided. Obviously, if you have special dietary needs or something like that, you would need to make arrangements for certain restrictions. We do our best to help alleviate those, but we can't always guarantee that there'll be a restaurant meal that will be completely 100% what everybody needs.
All right, here's the big question that everybody is listening. They're all going, yeah, that sounds great. And how much does this cost?
Well,
Give us some
it depends
ranges.
on which tour you're looking at, obviously.
Obviously, yep.
The great thing that I'm just going to say up front is that we like to make our tours affordable for everybody. So we do offer a monthly payment plan that is a no interest monthly payment plan, no credit check. So if it's something somebody really wants to do, we encourage them to take a look at paying it monthly. Most of our tours book out about 2 years in advance, so that really does make it kind of affordable. If you want to go on a 60-day Alaska tour, you can do payments for the next 24 months on that, which makes it much more affordable. If you're looking at something like our Made in America music tour, we're talking about, around $5,000 for that caravan for 2 people. If you are looking at a 60-day Alaska tour for 2025, we're looking at about $15,000 for 2 people in an RV. Again,
but that's a long time. You're on the road a lot. That's your meals and it's your camp fees.
It's every camping reservation. It's all the excursions. It's like if you think about a cruise and you go on a cruise and you go on these excursions, those are all extra charges. You have to pay an extra fee to go on that. These are all included for you. We're going to take you to the most iconic things that you've ever heard about going to Alaska. We're going to take you on the White Pass train. We're going to take you down into Skagway and let you see the gold rush. And we're going to take you to Chicken, Alaska, where you can, actually pan for gold on your own. And all the iconic things that you want to do. You want to see wildlife, we're going to take you on multiple boat cruises, and those are all going to be included. And the gratuities for those vendors are included also. So you're not expected to tip a whitewater rafting captain or any of those things.
Now, this winding down here, I've interviewed people before who have become junkies of these tours. They do them year after year after year. And that's how we actually decided, hey, let's get them on the program. We talked to a woman just a couple of weeks ago who does 2 of them a year, she says. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, do people do them always with friends? Do they do them, what about solos? I would imagine you become good friends with people camping, off time, but who normally goes on it? They go with friends usually?
One of the big things everybody always tells us that they love about the RV caravan lifestyle is that they make friends that become family. And they have reunions later wherever they all are. The whole group might end up in Florida for the winter, and they'll have a little reunion and get together. So a lot of people come along the first time on their own. And then they make friends on the tour and they book something else while they're all on the tour, and they all book it together. They're all like, okay, well, let's go to the Maritimes next year, or let's go to Mexico next year. So, and they all book it together, and then they travel together and they become traveling partners and they start traveling together. Sometimes at a show, like you've mentioned you've seen us at conventions, and there'll be a group of people that are there together and they'll come up and they'll say, we all want to go on this tour together. But generally speaking, most people book on their own the first time, and then they find people they like to travel with.
That's great. Last question. A typical day, you get into a campground, how long do you usually stay at wherever you're camping? I think you said a couple of days, but do you have time to unwind and see the area?
Depending on the location, if there's something to see. Sometimes we're driving just to get to a location, and it might be a 2-day drive, so we might just stay one night and just, hunker down for one night, feed everybody, and have a campground social, and then move on the next morning. Normally, we're in a location for at least 2 to 4 days. And if it's a bigger location, like when we get to Denali, we may be there 5 days, so that everybody can explore and do what they want to do. Plus, we try to give everybody a free day in a location so that they can do, after we've shown them the city or the town, and then they can do what they would like to do on their own. If they, because we have different people of different ability levels. Some people want to bike and hike. Some people want to go see museums. So we try to vary it up for everybody.
I actually do have one more question, and I for all the worrywarts out there, you mentioned you have a tail gunner who in biking we used to call them sag wagons, but people who were there in case you had a breakdown and stuff. Do they have like a list and they say, oh, well, we've been through this area. We know here are wreckers that can help. Here are garages. Here's where you need to go to get something fixed. What kind of help do they have for that?
We have the benefit of going with an RV caravan company is that we've been there before, and we passed this. We've been going to Alaska for over 20 years, so we pass this information down amongst the wagon masters every year and the tail gunners. So if you do break down, we're going to have information for you to help you, a reputable company that can come and help you, and our tail gunners even going to stay with you until we know help is on the way. Sometimes the tail gunner is able to fix it. It kind of depends. They're not mechanically inclined, and they're not going to touch your rig if they don't want it to be touched, obviously. But they can advise and they can help, and sometimes they can get it back together and get on the road till you can get to the campground and get service available there. So yes, we do have that information available.
And you're not alone, which is really good.
That's the comforting part, is that somebody's watching out for you, and especially in remote locations, there might not be great cell phone service. There might not be, and it's great that even if the tail gunner can't get service, they can drive. They can unhook their tow vehicle and go get help. So.
Gotcha. All right, Stacy, thank you very much. And tell everybody where they can learn more about Fantasy Tours and get all the information they need.
We have a website, fantasyrvtours.com. And, of course, we have a YouTube channel. If you would like to go there, just search for Fantasy RV Tours, and you will find all kinds of videos and informational seminars and presentations that we've done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we're looking forward to our tour, which is about to start as soon as we finish recording this.
And I think there is the comfort of traveling in your own RV. You're going from spot to spot to spot, but you've got your own bed, your own everything.
It's clean.
With you.
You know that, yep.
Yeah.
And then you develop really good friendships with all the people on the tour with you, which is what is amazing us so far. We came a little early, as did many others. And already it's been a lot of fun hanging with everybody.
And it's kind of luck of the draw, because when you go to the different campgrounds, they assign you a spot. And so, you never know who your neighbor's going to be, and that way it's easier to get to know more people.
Yeah, and it's great. They handle everything. All right, well, stay with us, because as we get going on this thing, we are going to update you on social media, and we'll have our Ask Us Anything on Sunday night, and we'll probably have some blog posts as well, and we'll make videos of it, because I know a lot of you would love to go, but you can't, and so you're traveling through us, and we consider that a big privilege to be able to share what we're doing. Saturday on our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube, we'll have our road trip out here, the 1,200 miles we took. We'll give you lots of tips, and you get to see what it's like when you plan that kind of a trip. RV News of the Week is next. Stay with us.
Jennifer and I bought some land near Nashville, Tennessee a while back. We got tired of crowded, expensive campgrounds and worrying about reservations. Tennessee is a gorgeous state with friendly people, and it has been such a pleasure. The same developer has some new property near us close to the Natchez Trace and Buffalo River called The Reserve at High Forest. Big properties, 5 to 41 acres. You can build a house, a cabin, or RV year-round. Prices start at only $89,900. Your property, your way, 100% ownership. The scenery in this part of Tennessee is breathtaking, and the property is gorgeous. Garden, landscape, bring your pets, build what you want. There's high-speed fiber optic internet, and it is so private. A great place to make your home base, ready whenever you want it. 5 to 41 acre properties from $89,900. There's even great financing. Check out the site and a video tour at rvlands.net. That's rvlands.net.
Welcome back. Time for the RV News of the Week, and we're going to give you kind of an abbreviated version of it. But in the news, of course, weather. Besides this hot weather, flooding last week.
Yeah, heavy rains flooded campgrounds and damaged roads in Arkansas and Missouri last week, leading to some viral footage from one campground.
Yeah,
and,
lots of pictures people were posting, and I'm not going to be able to dig those up for you because we're posting this and recording this online on the road, and I don't have, you know, all that access that I'd like for the video we normally will put in for those of you watching on YouTube. But RVers and campgrounds around Lake Tenney-Como had to evacuate. These rains were just horrendous, and it's just an idea that we want you to think about, and that is always having a weather radio with you. Yes, you can turn into TV and all that stuff, and you can use the internet, but have a weather radio which gives you alerts, particularly on things like flash flooding. That's important. So what else we got? Oh, how about the missing shoes? That's a good one. That's a good story.
Yeah, the missing shoes. So flip-flops and just Crocs and just random shoes were missing in Rivermouth Campground in Michigan. And we've camped there many a times in the Upper Peninsula, by Tequila Falls State Park. And the big question was, who's stealing the shoes? And apparently it was a fox.
A ring of fox thieves were caught. They were busted by park officials. They found 4 pairs of shoes, 8 single shoes outside a fox den, and they all had marks. Some of them had their straps chewed off.
Gnawed on some of them.
So the Michigan DNR put it on their Facebook page.
Yeah, if you like your shoes, take them inside at night. Don't leave your shoes outside.
And if you're traveling out west where there's creepy crawly things like scorpions and fire ants and snakes, yes, snakes. We've heard of people who've put their boots outside the RV and opened them up and there's a snake in there. Don't leave your shoes out overnight anywhere.
Well, we won't have to worry about that because we just wear our shoes traipsing right through, right?
Oh, I hear about that all the time. Oh, I mess up the RV.
Oh, I do too.
Hey, if you're a camper in Washington State and you like to camp there, like many other places, know that they're making some changes this year. Now you can only stay 10 nights in any one 30-day period. It starts on August 19th, I think. I think it's August 19th. And the cost to camp in Washington is going to go up in 2025. The rates will range from $23 to $56 a night, depending on the season and the desirability of the campsite and access to utilities. So it's going to be there.
I think that's logical because that's a state park. So 10 days. I don't know if it used to be 14 days like in Michigan, and 10 days within a 30-day period. That really does give more people an opportunity to use a state park, and you're going to have to work harder to find other parks that you can go to after your 10 days. I think that's a logical thing to do.
Well, one of the ways a lot of people have been working harder to find other parks to go to is using a service like Harvest Host, which has just grown phenomenally. We're big friends and followers of Harvest Host, and Joel Holland and his crew there are excellent. They made big news this week because Harvest Host, which helps you facilitate overnight stays, free overnight stays, and in breweries and farms and wineries and stuff like that. They just bought the Escapees RV Club, and that surprised everybody. Now, the Escapees has a membership discount program and lots of other things, which Harvest Host now owns. And the question is what does that mean to people?
I don't know, but Escapees has been around for a long time. I think it started 46 years ago.
Sure. We had Joe and Kay Peterson. We interviewed them. They founded it. Literally, that's almost half a century ago. Mm-hmm. And it's been in the Peterson family for 3 generations, branching into now a full membership community. Now it's the Peterson's daughter and her husband, and then the grandson and his wife running it. So this was a big surprise to the whole industry. Now, there are a couple of things that Escapees, like their mail service, a lot of people use, and they have 8 different RV parks around the country. Those are going to be run by current Escapees management. So how that's going to work and what exactly Harvest Hosts and Escapees, what synergy they're going to have, we don't know yet. I think it's going to probably be a good development for all. We know Joel, and Joel has a great organization of Harvest Hosts, and we've been a member of Escapees ourselves, and we like the Petersons. So 2 good people getting together and sharing all that stuff. So we'll see where that goes. But I guess congratulations are in order to all of them, the Petersons and Joel and the Harvest Host organizations. All right, we're going to be one more story, I think, that we have to share. You know, everybody likes to take their pets camping, as we did. Bo was with us.
I know.
Yeah.
And you know, you hear about people taking pet pigs camping, pet chickens, exotic birds, but a pet monkey?
On a leash.
On a leash.
Last week in southern Indiana, a woman took her pet monkey camping and had to call the fire department after the little guy got stuck in a tree. He was up, you know, like 35 feet off the ground or something. And he had his leash on, but he escaped somehow, and the leash got tangled in a tree at the Patoka Lake Campground. Can you imagine that? There's a monkey in Indiana. They had to call the fire department, and this was just after midnight. They were able to rescue the little guy by cutting some branches and getting him down. And the fire department even posted a picture of the monkey.
Yeah, I would.
Reunited with
you know,
its owner.
the fire department never knows what situations they're going to handle.
Well, neither do we when we get an RV question, and that's what we're going to answer coming up right after this.
When we're asked what's the most important modification we made to our RV, it's an easy answer. Battle-Born batteries. Battle-Born batteries are quality, safe, reliable lithium batteries that allow us to stay out there off the grid longer. Lithium batteries charge faster, they charge fuller, they're longer lasting, they're maintenance free, and Battle-Born batteries are protected by a 10-year guarantee. Now in our case, they just dropped into the existing AGM batteries that we have, and they'll probably be the same on your rig too. Battle-Born battery experts can get those in your rig just like they did with ours. They can also match you up with the right cabling, the inverter, the charger, the solar controller, everything. Jennifer and I swear by our Battle-Born batteries. They allow us to boondock off the grid. Check them out. Go to rvlifestyle.com/lithium. rvlifestyle.com/lithium.
Welcome back. Time now for the RV question of the week.
I like this question from Sharon. Do Cracker Barrels, Walmarts, and gas stations count as boondocking? If so, then yes, I can say I boondocked. I think that's a good question.
Okay, what do you think the answer is?
Yes, at first I was kind of a legalist. I thought, oh, I'm not sure that counts because you're not out in the middle of nowhere.
There are a lot of legalists out there who are going to say,
yeah,
no,
then I decided
boondocking.
It's boondocking. I'm not plugged in. We're not plugged in.
I agree with you. That's boondocking. Boondocking has, you know, the phrase implies that you're out in the boondocks someplace far away from civilization and you're dry camping. And, you know, that's how it certainly was originally, and it still is for many of the purists out there. We like to do that kind of camping. But when you are without any sort of hookup, water and stuff, you are dry camping. You're on your own. So whether it's a parking lot or it's somebody's driveway and you don't have the full comforts of full hookups, I think Sharon can count that, right?
Go for it, Sharon.
All right. Time now for our story time, Mike and Jen's story time. And as we mentioned at the top of the program, we follow something called the RV 330 rule.
We heard about that, and
this is like a dozen years ago.
Oh, a long time ago. And I said, that makes sense to me because these 500 and 600 mile days are just too hard on us.
My record was 728 miles. And I vowed at the end of that I wouldn't do it again. But then the next trip, I think I did 600. And we still have been known, even in the last year or so, to go 550 miles in a day. That's too much.
It really is too much.
So why don't you tell them what the 330 rule is and why we think that works so good?
Well, the 330 rule is you stop when you've driven 330 miles or else you stop at 3:30 in the afternoon. And the idea is to get someplace while it's still early enough to you can explore, you can relax a little bit, enjoy the place where you're camping and spending the night. You're not so exhausted that you just go, ah.
There is nothing worse than pulling into a campsite after dark, and that is actually bad camping etiquette because you can control whether you arrive after dark, and you know that if you're in a campground and it's too late, you're going to disturb your neighbors. So plan accordingly. We did so well on this 1,200 mile trip. A couple of our days were 360 miles, but we ended every time by 3:30 in the afternoon, and that worked out really well. And then on a couple of days we were even earlier than that, and we enjoyed all three of those campgrounds.
We did.
We did. And
We did.
we'll have a video that you can see. That's a private jet coming out of Bar Harbor Airport, and there's a lot of real wealthy people here who use that
jet.
little airport.
Beautiful
They
jet.
like it. All right, so that's the 3:30 rule. Just don't push yourself. I mean, driving too far, you get drowsy. And they say that drowsy driving is as dangerous as drunk driving.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that your ability to make decisions and to react quickly and just plain fall asleep.
Yeah. So avoid driving long distances. That's our suggestion to you. And arrive with some energy. It's a great way to start a camping trip. You have a comment or question, just reach us out. We're Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching the podcast. Be sure and follow all of our social media channels, and we will have updates on our travel as we hit the Canadian Maritimes. And when we'll come back to you next week, we'll be somewhere north in Canada. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Happy trails.